Hello everyone, a warm welcome to Writers at Work TikTok lessons. This evening we'll be going through Ai Tong Primary School Prelim Exam Primary 6 from the year 2023. Now we'll wait for a few more moments for more of our friends to join us before I start going through the paper. If you just joined us this afternoon, could you just drop a thumbs up or just say hi to everyone here? Alright, once again, very good afternoon to you. I'm teacher Nathan from Writers at Work, and today we'll be learning English with everybody, okay? It's great to see a lot of you online today. Now, I'll be going through Ai Tong Primary School Prelim. We'll be going through the booklet A, then B. Well, if you know the answers, the questions I'm going through, you could always type them in the comment section. Likewise, if you have any questions, you also can type them in the comment section and we will discuss. Right, without further ado, let's start with our grammar. Question 1. Don't stop. Stir the sugar, dash it dissolves completely, instructed mother. Now, this is known as a preposition of time question. Okay? Now, let's take a look at the options. But is used to show contrast. Then we have and. And this is to show two similar ideas. Then we also have until, which shows when a situation ends. Okay, and last one is while. While is to show concurrent activities. Okay, so if we take a look at this question here, we are looking at a specific time period, which is dissolves completely. So this is something like a deadline. Okay, so if you want to use a preposition of time to show this, we'll use number 3, until. Very good, Ronnie too. Okay, because we are looking at a deadline, a specific time when you need to stop stirring. Now, moving on to question 2. Alicia had to burn the midnight oil as she was asked to prepare for a presentation there's short notice. Now, this is also a preposition of time question. Okay, so let's take a look at the options first. In basically means is used to show the time taken to do something. So for example, I would say dinner is ready in 10 minutes. That means after 10 minutes, you can eat dinner. Okay? Moving on, at. At is a preposition of place to show where an event takes place. Okay? So I can say dinner is at the coffee shop, which means that you'll be eating at this particular place. With is you are accompanying somebody. So dinner is with Aunt Lucy. That means Aunt Lucy and me are going to eat dinner together. Under basically shows the position of an object. So for example, under the table, which means below this surface, I have my shoes. Okay, So if we take a look here, the keyword that we are interested in is short notice. Short notice means that your time period isn't very long. So of all the 4 options, only option 1 would have an element of time. Therefore, this is our answer. Okay? Moving on. Josh will surely make it to the finals. He's improved greatly in the last few months, Dash said his teachers. So this is a question tag question. Okay? So over here, we are looking at his. This is known as a contraction. Okay? So for contraction, his can mean he is, he has, or it refers to Josh's possession. For example, Josh's handphone. So if we take a look at question tag, I need a positive and a negative. So over here, we are only looking at first and second one because both is and has is a positive part of the question tag. Now, how do we choose whether it is this one or that? He is or he has? To do that, we take a look at this sentence here. He's improved greatly. He is improved greatly. It doesn't sound right. So the only option that we have is he has improved greatly. And this is positive. So for our blank here, we need a negative element. And how do we suggest what is negative element? Hasn't. Therefore, my answer is number 2. Okay? Moving on, let's take a look at question 4. Timothy's parents made him dash home earlier yesterday to celebrate grandfather's birthday. This is a tenses question. So let's take a look at the options available to us. Come, this is present tense and is plural. Came, this is past tense. Now, comes, this is present and singular. And had come, this is known as past perfect, which means you show that a past action occurred before second event. So you could say, I noticed that John had left his keys behind. So in this sentence, there are 2 different actions. John leaving the keys behind and you noticed. So if I have to draw a timeline, John would have left the keys first before you noticed. So because this is a second action, we will use had left, which is in the past perfect tense. Okay, so this is how we differentiate the different options available. So over here, we have our keyword yesterday. Okay. However, we would use the word come. But why is this so? It is because this is known as a verb of perception question. Okay, this is something slightly different. When we use a verb of perception question, when we encounter this kind of question, it will be, you have to use the base form of the word. And how do you identify a verb of perception question? Yeah, very good. Who's this? New pui pui. Yeah, correct. Verb of perception question, you will use base form, and you can identify it by the verb that is in front. So made. So when you have a verb followed by a subject and another verb here. Okay, this is your key. This is how you know that this is a verb or possession question, when you identify verb, subject, verb. So when this happens, your subsequent verb here needs to be in the base form, which is why the answer will be 1. Okay? Come, let's go on to question 5. The burglars left dash evidence of breaking into the house, so the police had to release them. So for this question, it is an adverbs of degree question. Okay? Now, for this question here, the options available include both countable and uncountable adverbs. So this is where we need to identify what is countable and what is not. Few is countable, while little, some, and much are all uncountable. Okay? Then if we take a look at the question, we are looking at evidence. And this evidence is very general and is uncountable. Okay? The next thing to also take note of is over here, police had to release them. So it means that the police did not have necessary evidence to catch the thieves. Therefore, my answer will be number 2. Very good. New pui pui. Yeah. Okay, I'll just give everybody some time to digest the information I just shared before we move on. All right. If there are no further questions, let's go on to the next part. Question 6. Okay, I'd just like to remind everybody, if you have your answers available, kindly type them in the comment section so that we can discuss. In addition, if you have any questions, please feel free to also ask them in the comment section. Now let's go on to question 6. Where dash the pair of shoes that I had left at the door earlier? Asked Judy. This is a verbs question. Alright, and sorry. So over here we have pair. This is singular because it's just one pair of shoes, and earlier. So for this question here, based on my keywords, I need a singular verb, which means are and were will be eliminated. Now, Judy is asking this in the current moment. So because of this, we'll consider this as present. So the answer will be number 1. Okay. Now moving on to question 7. Sam, knowing that his parents dash late from work, played computer games late into the night. Now this is a tenses question. Return is in the past tense. Now had returned is the past perfect tense. So what this means is that the action had occurred before second event took place. So I explained earlier, an example would be, I noticed that he had left his keys behind. So when John had left the keys behind, this is the second event before my first event. Okay, this is the present. Because the first event is you noticed in the past tense already. The next one would be the past perfect tense. Okay, so this is how you differentiate. Was and were returning. These two are known as past continuous tense, which shows that the action is continuing at certain point of time in the past. So you could say the children were eating lunch at noon time. So in this question, you could see that the children were eating at a certain period of time, for example, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., which is noon time. And because we are not sure of the specific time, we will use were eating as past continuous to show that this action of eating continued within 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you take a look at these questions, he knows his parents will come back late from work, but Sam doesn't know the exact time, which is very similar to this example that I just given. And we are looking at parents, so two people. So two people means it is plural. So plural and Sam not knowing the specific time, this will mean my answer will be number 4. Okay. Okay, moving on to question 8. Dash the recent fire at the museum. The learning journey was cancelled. This is a conjunction question. So let's take a look at the options available.
Here's what I found.
Amid. Amid, you are looking at surrounded by something. Despite is to show contrast. Owing to is to show the cause effect. And regardless of is to show that you are not affected by other factors. So over here, my key phrases of words would be recent fire, learning journey was cancelled. So it is very clear that there is a cause here, recent fire, and the effect is the learning journey was cancelled. So to link the cause and the effect together, I will use number 3, owing to. Okay. Now moving on to question 9. Dash Suresh had not used his phone while crossing the road, he would have seen the car approaching. Now this is known as a modal auxiliary verb question. Okay. So for this question, let's take a look at the options available to us. This is used when you have questions. So for example, did you lock the door yesterday? It's used to start a question. Okay. Had is used for the perfect tense of verb. Okay. Whereas would is to ask for permission. So I can say, would you lend me the pen? So you're asking whether you can take my pen. And should is to show that you need to do something. So you should feed the cat daily. That means you are obliged to feed the cat as its pet owner. Okay, so for this question here, we are looking at Suresh not looking at the phone and he has seen the car. So there are two different events that are occurring. Seen the car and not use his phone. So because this is the second event before him not seeing or seeing the car, we will use number 2, had, to show the perfect tense of the verb. Okay? Now moving on to question 10. After an hour of interrogation, the stubborn boy finally admitted to dash the vase on the table. Okay, this is a tenses question. Break is present and is for plural. Breaking is present continuous, which means that the action is ongoing at the time of speaking. Who? No, the answer is not one. Okay, let me go through all the options available first, so maybe you can try again. So I was talking about how breaking is in the present continuous tense, and this means that the action is ongoing at the time of speaking. For example, Sue is eating in the kitchen. That means as I talk to you about what Sue is doing, she is eating at the kitchen at this current moment. Had broken is a past perfect, is in the past perfect tense. And this would mean that an action has occurred before a second action happened. So for example, back to my same example again, I noticed that John had left his keys behind. So there are two events happening. John leaving the keys and you noticing it. And you noticing it. And which one comes first? You notice it. And this is after John had left the keys behind. Okay? Now, having broke, this one is a present perfect tense. Present perfect means that the action is completed at the time of speaking. Okay, so this would mean that but effect still felt. So for example, I will say, he has read the news and want to know more. So, he has read the news. Has read or have read is the same thing. Same type of tenses. So you can see here that this person has finished reading the newspapers, but the effect is here. You want to know more. The effect is still felt. Therefore, we use something known as the present perfect tense. Now, for this question here, back to your question, let's take a look at the keywords first, then I'll tell you the answer. The boy admitted to something. So this is also a verb of perception case, where I have a noun, then I have a verb admitted to, then another verb again. So when we have these three elements together, my last verb here must be either in the base or the plus ing form. Okay? But if you take a look closely, admitted to, over here, my answer should be breaking, number 2, not break. You could say the boy, anyways, over here, one boy cannot break. It needs to be breaks, because this is in the plural form. Okay? Therefore, while I say we can use the base form, over here, the base form is not correct because it is plural, in the plural form. But my question is only one boy, singular. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Is it who? Yeah. Okay, So I just give everybody some time to take in the information I just shared before we continue with the next question. Okay, once again, very good evening to everybody. I'm teacher Nathan from Writers at Work, and today we are going through Ai Tong Primary School Prelim paper from 2023. I just finished the grammar section and we'll be going through the vocab MCQ now. Once again, if you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat and we can discuss. If you have your answers, please also type them in the chat and we will see whether they are correct or wrong. Okay, that's how we learn. Come, let's take a look at question 11. In her youth, Siti was led dash by mixing with bad company, but she has since turned over a new leaf. So we take a look at the question, the options available. Adrift. Adrift means you float on water. Alright. Aside. Aside means out of the way. Amiss means something is not right. Astray. Astray means you are away from current path. So if we look closely at the keywords, we see that Siti is mixing bad company. Therefore, my answer would be number 4, because the bad company influenced her in the wrong way. Okay. Number 12. The rescue workers' attempt to locate victims trapped under the rubble was dashed by the shortage of equipment. Now, interrupted means you disturb somebody. Restrain means you prevent somebody from doing something. Hindered means you make something difficult for somebody, whereas subdue means you bring something under control. So let's look back at our keywords. Shortage of equipment and locate victims trapped under rubble. So the answer will be hindered. Very good, Ronnie too. Because your shortage of equipment makes the location of victims difficult. Okay, therefore it is number 3. Okay, moving on. Peter exuded dash as he spoke, impressing the panel of interviewers with his convictions of how he could serve the school. Idealism. This one means you have unrealistic beliefs. So for example, if you are very idealistic, you could say that you want all the streets to be spick and span. You are assuming that people will not litter, but this is not the case in reality. Therefore, it is unrealistic. Okay? Confidence means you are able to do something. Excitement means that you are eager to do something. While persuasiveness means you make somebody do something. Okay? So over here, you could see that he has convictions and the panel of judges are impressed. So in this case, our answer would be number 2. Very good, Ronnie too. Because you impress somebody by how you can do something. Okay? Now moving on to question 14. Despite facing numerous setbacks, Dylan was determined not to dash to despair. This is phrasal verb. Okay? Let's take a look at the options available. Give in. Give in means you agree to something or you surrender. Okay? Give out. Give out means you distribute something. So let's say I give out free lunch at the rental flats. That means I give free packet lunch, the packet rice to people freely. Give way means that you are unable to withstand weight. So maybe you could say that the table is meant for children, and if I to sit on the table will give way to my weight. Give back means you return something to someone who gave it to you. So you see, we are looking at numerous setbacks and despair. So when you want to after experiencing a lot of challenges, you may just want to be despair, which means you give in or you surrender to it. Therefore, my answer will be number 1. Okay, very good. Who? Yeah, that's the correct answer. Okay. Now moving on to question 15. The teacher, I guess he. All right, for questions for vocab questions, the key is to identify your keywords first. So when you have your keywords, you can eliminate certain options. Okay. The second thing that you need to know is the meanings of the word. So when we are doing practices like now, I'm giving you the meanings of the word. And if you are doing practices alone or in school, I highly encourage you to search up the dictionary when you encounter words that you are unsure of. Because when you know the meanings of the word, you know which of the answers are definitely wrong, and this will also help you in the elimination. So even if you do not know all 4 words, probably 2 or 3 of them, you will have eliminated them, and this will increase your chances of getting the correct answer. Okay? Now let's go on to question 50. The teacher was dash in planning the overseas trip to ensure that every safety measure was taken care of. Vigilant. Vigilant means you are watchful for danger. Anxious means you fear something. Energetic means it's very lively, active. Okay? And meticulous means you have an attention to details. Okay, I see Phelan SSA is number 4. Yes, for this question here, my answer will be number 4. But why is it so? Because every safety measure was taken care of. That means you are looking at the minor details of the safety management plan. Okay, therefore my answer is number 4. Now, I believe some people will be asking why the answer will not be vigilant, because you are watching for danger, which is very related to safety. Now, for this case, the answer is meticulous because we are looking at how every safety measure was taken care of. If the second part of the sentence mentions that the teacher was ensuring danger was mitigated, then number 1 will be the answer. So in a sense, when I approach vocab questions, my main skill that I hope that you can take away is to identify the keywords, because this will give you the context of the question, and this in turn will help you with eliminating the options that are incorrect or inappropriate for the question. Okay, now I'll give everybody some time to take in the information that I just shared here, and I'll be moving on to the next section soon. All right, if there are no further questions or comments, we'll be moving on to the next part. Okay, walking in the garden, a man found a cocoon of a butterfly. He noticed a small opening appear in the cocoon. Now, for this one, let's take a look at the options. Break. Break means that the object separates due to strain. So let's say I have a Ziploc bag here and I pull the Ziploc bag apart. So due to the strain, the Ziploc bag may break into two parts. That's when I use break. Slot. Slot means a long, narrow gap in a machine. So for example, I have a vending machine and a slot here is this long narrow hole for me to put my coins such that I can pay for the drink in the vending machine. Okay? Gap means a space between two objects, and cut means you open something with sharp object. Okay, so let's take a look here. We are just looking at something that is small and a cocoon. So the most appropriate answer I have here would be a gap, because it's just a small space. Okay, now number 1 and number 3 are very similar, but number 1 has a special keyword called strain. In our text here, there isn't any keyword that explains to me why there will be a strain involved. Therefore, the answer will be number 3 instead of number 1. Okay? Now let's go on. He watched the butterfly struggle to force its body through that little hole. So, let's take a look here. Number 1, we have wriggle. Now, wriggle means that you twist and turn. Okay? Stretch means that you straighten something to full length. Okay? Then we have labor. Labor means that you put in a great effort to do something. And lastly, battle means you struggle to resist something. Okay? So, over here, we can see that you have a butterfly that is struggling. But what is it struggling to? Force its body through the hole. That means it is putting a lot of effort to achieve its objective here. So, because of this fact, our closest answer will be number 3. Very good, Bella hits. Labor. Okay. Now, if anyone else have answers, kindly put them in the comments. All right. Okay, let's move on to question 18. The butterfly then emerged without a hitch, but it had a swollen body and small shriveled wings. Without a hitch. I'm sorry. I missed out question 18. Eventually, the butterfly stopped making progress. Deciding to help the butterfly, it took a pair of scissors and snipped off the remaining bit of the cocoon. Now, this one, remaining bit. Let's take a look at the keywords that we have. Leftover means actually food after consumption. That means you cannot finish your food, then what is remaining is called leftover. Excess means extra. Scrape means waste or rubbish. And rest means remains of something. Okay, so I see Bella Hit say the answer is number 2. The answer for question 18 is actually not number 2, but number 4. Because we are looking at the cocoon, and for a cocoon, it will not have extra parts of the cocoon. Excess is usually used for things. For example, I have excess clothes. This cocoon is, I would say, is part of a butterfly body. So it will not have additional, okay? It will not have extra parts or extra quantity. Therefore, we cannot use excess. So the better option would be rest, which means the remains of something. Okay, I see new Pui answer is 4. Yeah, correct. Then who is this? Your Swifty Woo Woo. I did this before. Very good. Okay, for those of you who just joined us, this is Ai Tong Primary School papers, Primary 6. Okay. Now, if you who's this? Your Swifty Woo Woo. If you know the answer, you also can share with us. Okay. The butterfly then emerged without a hitch. Okay, let's take a look at the options available. Question 19. First one, easily. Easily means not difficult. Readily. Readily means without hesitation. Then I have gracefully means in a very elegant manner. And number 4, conveniently means in a way that fits one's needs. Okay, so for question 19, without a hitch, and take note, just now we talked about the man taking a scissors and snipping off the cocoon. So this already tell you that the butterfly will probably emerge from the cocoon without much difficulties, which means my answer will be number 1 for question 19. Okay, now let's move on to question 20. He was expecting the wings to enlarge to support the weight. Okay, new Pui. Question 19, option 1 is correct. To enlarge to support the weight of the body, which would shrink in time. Okay, now for this question, we have the options here: bear, prop, uphold, and endure. Bear means you carry weight of something. Prop means you temporarily support something or keep it in position. Okay, uphold means you support something that has been questioned. Lastly, we have endure. Endure means you bear the pain. Okay, so over here, very clear that we have weight. That means this would draw our attention to option 1, which is bear, because there is the element of weight here. Okay, therefore, this is my answer. Okay, before I move on, I just give everybody some time to digest the information. Okay, I see a default saying that this is my PSLE paper. Very good. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, at Writers at Work, we give the most relevant papers for everybody to learn and be well prepared for our exams. Okay, so I highly encourage you to ask questions where necessary. Okay, because this will help you learn effectively. Now, moving on, we'll go on to grammar close. Okay. Okay, for our grammar close, let's take a look at the text. Having a dream is a natural and fascinating aspect of human experience. It is characterized vivid mental images and emotions. So for this question, the answer would be C, by this. And why is this so? Because we are looking at the characteristics of dreams. So what are some characteristics here? Mental image and emotions. So this is how we approach the question. Taking what a story-like structure. Dreams occur involuntarily in the mind during sleep. So we are looking at the role of dreams. So if you are talking about a role, that means you take on this role to show how the dreams take on how the dreams assume a responsibility. We use the preposition on. Okay, that's why the answer is H. Its content can range. So we have different types of dreams. The ordinary, the mundane, which means boring. The bizarre, which means very weird, and fantastical, that means something that's very good. So because there's a wide range, we will use the word from. So it can range from this to that. Okay? Now, the purpose and function of dreams are still not fully understood. Various theories suggest something. So the answer here would be wow. Because I have two concurrent activities. The purpose and function is not fully understood. But there are also, at the same time, many theories. Okay? And these theories suggest what dreams may serve as a way. It suggests something. And this suggestion is referring to the dreams. So you will suggest that something. Okay? This is a relative pronoun. And why do we use that? It's because dreams are objects. They are not human beings. Okay? Moving on. Dreams may serve as a way processing and consolidating information. So for here, the answer would be as a way of. Okay? Because it shows the relationship between two objects. So we are saying that dreams in itself have all these functions. Okay? So it's the preposition here to show relationships. Okay? Okay, moving on. More often not. So over here, usually is more often than not. That means you want to show how this is very common. Okay? Question 35. More often than not. The abilities to remember dreams that varies individuals. So over here, we are looking at how there are many different people and the ability is slightly different. So it's among the individuals. Okay, because we have many people. Some people may recall vivid details, yet others may only have vague recollections even no memory of their dreams at all. So you can see that there are two different options here. They have vague recollections or they have no memory. So to link these two ideas, which are slightly different, it will be vague or. Okay, so it will be J. My logo obstruct the words options. Dreams evoke a wide range of emotions in people and can sometimes be intense. Do you recall a recent dream you dash? What emotions did it trigger then? So this one, the answer is E. What dreams you had? Okay, because this is to show the perfect tense of something. Because the next sentence is say, what emotions did it trigger? So this is already in the past tense. So before the emotions can be triggered, so you have emotions. But before the emotions can be triggered, you have your dreams first. So because there are two different events and the dreaming part is later than the emotions part, we will call it a the perfect tense. And because of that, we will use had. Okay? So right now, I just give everybody some time to digest the information before I move on to the next section. All right. Once again, I can see more and more people are joining us. Very good evening to you. I'm teacher Nathan from Writers at Work, and we'll be going through Ai Tong Primary School P6 Prelim. If you know the answers to my questions, feel free to write them in the comment section. And if you have any questions, you also can ask them in the comment section. Okay, and today joining us on our TikTok live, Instagram live as well, we have our class pet Mochi. Hello everybody, hello. So if you're on TikTok now, just drop a quick thumbs up or a hi to Mochi. Hello, hello. Okay. And in addition to our friend Mochi, we also have another class pet known as Ronnie. Hello everybody, hello, hello. Ronnie is a special kind of French fries that can talk and learn English with us. Okay, so if you're on TikTok now, just drop a hi to our two friends who will be joining us, all right? All right, if there are no further questions, I'll be moving on to the editing section, okay? Complaints about wild chickens in Singapore have been growing. They are, instead of existent, it will be existence. Is becoming a common sight in many neighborhoods across the island. Residents who reside in these neighborhoods are concerned about the noise. Okay. Now, the first question here, we change it to existence because I want it to be in the noun form. Existent is not in this noun form. Okay. I'm sorry, this is in the noun form, and I want it in is exist. Their existence, this is in the noun form. Existent, this is the verb. Okay. Now, for this question 40, we are looking at relative pronouns. So how do you know which one to use? Okay, for this one, whose, this is in the possessive form. Okay, so what does this mean? You need to talk about somebody's belongings. So Ali, whose wallet is missing, is at the police station. Okay, so over here you can see that the wallet belongs to Ali, therefore we use whose. But over here in this sentence we are just interested in people who reside in the neighborhood, therefore the residence here is the subject, therefore we will use who instead. Okay, what primary or second, sorry, Cami, you are referring to primary school or secondary school English, is it? This paper is Ai Tong Primary School. Okay, now Wangan Brian is very fast. So from, this is inconsiderate. Okay, roosters at ungodly hours. The unwelcoming crowing could start as early as 5 a.m., frustrating many residents as their sleep is often disrupted. Even the slightest, we need to use the est here because of the word the, which means it needs to be in the superlative form. Okay, before the sun rises, Wangan Brian, very early in the morning before the sun rises. Okay, if not, it's correct. That's what it means. Another gripe that residents have is the very good Butyl's left eyebrow. Very good. Unhygienic is how you spell it. Droppings, the wild chickens live everywhere. Those with young children are worried that their children would fall ill easily when they touch the droppings at playgrounds as their immunity. Okay, this is also a word form change. You are immune to something, this is a verb, but now I'm interested in the noun, so I need to convert the word form. Though the wild chickens have been a nuisance, this is how I spell nuisance. In the affected neighborhoods, many of the residents are against the aggressive culling of the chickens. Instead, they recommend that the chickens be caught and relocated to farms. Okay, I just like to draw your attention to spelling errors. Recommend is double M. Other words with these double alphabet rules are like committed, fulfilled. Okay, double M, double T, or this is double L. However, commit is single T but double M, and fulfill is single L. Okay, I just want everybody to take note that the base word as well as the respective noun may be slightly different in how you spell it. Okay, now I'll just give everybody some tips on editing before I move on. For editing, there are a few types of questions. Okay, the first kind is your spelling errors. For example, we have here unhygienic, nuisance. Okay, now spellings, how do you prepare for them? It's through reading and practice. Okay, for reading, this will expose you to all the words and how to spell them correctly. Whereas for practice, it's like through now. If you attend our TikTok sessions and how we will teach you the correct spelling. And you will identify common words. For example, I can give you one, curiosity. Another one is resuscitate. All these words are tested quite commonly and it is good to memorize them. The next one is grammar. What nuisance means? Nuisance means it is annoying to people. Okay, Benson Ong. Okay, moving back to what I'm talking about. A question type they can test is grammar. So for example, they give you the wrong word, whose versus who. So you need to be aware of your rules. Okay. The last kind of questions which I believe is more challenging is the word form, which means they ask you to convert a verb to a noun and vice versa. So for example, misbehave versus misbehavior. Okay, or you have adjective to a noun. So for example, I can say he is a mischievous boy. And a noun would be the boy's mischief. Okay, so that is how we approach the different kind of questions and the question type. This one also is very much linked to practice. Okay. Now I just give everybody some time to take in the information before I move on to the next section. Right, if there are no further questions, we'll be talking about our vocab close first. All right. Pulau Ubin is the last stronghold of rustic village life in Singapore. To get dash, you will need to take a bumboat from Changi Point Ferry Terminal. So we are referring to getting to Pulau Ubin. Okay, very good, Wangan Brian. So to get there, you will need to take a bumboat from Changi Point Ferry Terminal at the dash of $4 per person. So this is how much you need to pay. So there is a cost. Okay, or you can say at a price of $4 per person per trip. Okay, only a short boat ride away, the Ru Island will transport you to a dash time and place from modern Singapore. So we can see rustic village life is something very. Come, what answers do you guys suggest? Yes, Butill's left eyebrow are different. Yeah, very good. Undercover monster, correct? Different. Time and place from modern Singapore. There are various ways to appreciate the. You see, this is a phrase together. It is always the sights and sounds. Okay, here already given you one with S, so you'll follow. You can choose, yeah, very good, HX. You can choose a self-guided tour where you decide how to discover the island at your own dash. Okay, over here you can see it's really self-guided, which means that you will do it at your own time. Another word is your own pace. Every month, yeah, very good, undercover mostering. Every month, any parks will run guided tours. Okay, you'll start at the main jetty, which is to the left of the jetty. Is made dash of a cluster of wooden houses and buildings. So we are talking about how this Ubin town comprise this, which means it is made up of something. Okay. What Ubin town is made out is it comprise wooden houses and building. This small settlement consists of two dash of businesses. So they give you two categories. So for categories, another word is the type. And because it's businesses, plural, we'll say the two types of businesses. Okay. So over here, the word two suggests it's really plural. So HX, please take note. If you put type, it'll be wrong. But if it's types, then it'll be correct. Okay? Don't be careless. To rent bicycles, you can dash to do so at one of the many shops. So over here, you can see that many shops, which means that you have a choice. So when you go there, you can choose. Okay? For a nostalgic trip back to an old-fashioned provision shop, dash a visit to Yek Hong. So you can see that there are many things you can do to discover the island. Okay? So you can choose to pay a visit. Okay, Butil's left eyebrow. Can you say decide for question 58? You can decide to do so. To rent bicycles, you can decide to do so at. No, for question. I see two questions for two different alternative answers people propose. You can decide to do so at one of the many shops. No, when you say decide already has this meaning that you have many options but choose one. So over here, choose, after you choose the option, which this means that you have decided on something. So decided will not be accepted here, because decided means that you already have one option in mind. But for this question here, we are looking at there are many shops, and the fact is you can go to any of these shops to rent your bike. Therefore, we say choose. Okay. Now for HX, you say can be considered for question 59. Well, for question 59, you cannot say consider a visit. You should be saying you pay a visit because you want a nostalgic trip already. Consider means you haven't make up your mind or you haven't decided yet. But for question 59, the context is you already want a nostalgic trip. You already decided to go for a nostalgic trip. So this means that you will definitely pay a visit. Okay? At this 100-year-old shop, you can dash up some snacks or drinks for your exploration of Pulau Ubin. So we are referring to a shop, and in the shop you are able to take all this. So one of my answer will be pick up. Very good. Good. Very good. Butil's left eyebrow and Ronnie too. Dash the center of the village is the wayang stage that was built in 1971. So we are talking about a particular location. So in the center of the village is the wayang stage. Okay. No, it cannot be at? Because at refers to the location of something. In, on the other hand, while it refers to a location, we are referring to a specific landmark. So I can say the wayang stage is at the Pulau Ubin town. Okay, it's just the location. But in, which basically points, okay, so I just, that you're pointing to this particular place, we have this thing, therefore it is in. Okay, the wayang stage was an essential part of the village social life. Dash entertainment for residents. So you could say that over here, entertainment. So what does the wayang stage do? How are they linked? The wayang stage providing. Okay. In the 1960s, it was even dashed as classrooms for the island's Binkiang school. So you can see that this is used for a purpose here. So you can say it was even used as classroom. Very good. NXT 1121. Okay. Let's carry on first. Nature lovers may also wish to visit the sensory trail in Ubin Town, leaving the island. This one is before, because there are two activities here. You visit the sensory trail and second one is leave. So which one will start first? You visit first, then you leave the island. So when we want to join these two events that happen one after another, we use before. Okay, the sensory trail was developed in 1995 for the visually handicapped to experience using their. The answer is really inside this word sensory. Yeah, senses. Okay, so this will be the answers for my vocab close. Are there any questions or any comments? You can type them in the comment section. Okay, I just like to address NXT 1121. Okay, so how to improve? How to improve in the vocab section? Now, I'll just share some tips. First, your keywords are important. My keywords will tell me what I will need to write in the it helps me in answering some of the questions. For example, sensory trail experience will be using their senses. These are the what I call low-hanging fruits. It's very easy to tell these are the answers. Okay, so this is the main thing that you need to use. The second one you need to second tip that I can give you is you need to know your grammar rules. So for example, question 61. Why is it in? Because we need to be familiar with your prepositions. Okay. For example, this one, two types. This is also a bit of grammar here. Because you need to see two is plural. Therefore, it is with a S. Okay. The next one you need to know is your vocab. So you need to understand certain words. For example, this one is choose and not decide, because my keyword already informed me many shops, and it's basically the visitor picking the shop they want. So this is vocab. All this can be mastered through practice. Okay, so when you do your practices in school, I highly encourage you to underline your keywords so that you can practice identifying them and using them to help you answer the question. The next two are also important: grammar rules and vocab. Okay, you need to practice and you need to understand why you choose certain words. It is not as simple as you just thinking of any random word and putting it in. It needs to be based on keywords in the passage, and you need to have a thorough understanding of all these words you use. And to do it that way, I would recommend, like what NXT1121 say, you do a grammar close book. Okay. Alternatively, if you want to have more resources, you can look at Writers at Work website. We do provide some of these grammar practices, the ebook itself. Okay. And if you also need somebody to go through the answers with you, you can join us on Sundays, where we will go through vocab close and I'll be explaining all these vocab words to you. All right. Now, before we finish this evening session, we'll talk about synthesis and transformation first. Okay. Tim was scolded. It was due to his mischief. So over here, we are looking at a word form change. Yay, my favorite. Yes, Ronnie. So you could say Tim was scolded for being mischievous. Okay? In getting help when she needed it, Judy showed her humility. The fact that Judy got help when she needed it showed her humility. Okay? This is reported speech question. I'll spend more time here because there are some skills needed. First thing I always do is to highlight the words I need to change. Next, I will edit it on my paper before writing it. Okay? I fell while running in the park just now, brother told mother. Fell just now. I'll change to had fallen. Okay, I'll explain question 67 after I'm done with 68. Okay, NXT1121, stay there hang in there for a while. Okay, just now. This will change to dead. Okay, so how do we know how to change this? I'll always say use a timeline. So if the question say if the word fall is used, you will use fell. And if fell is used, you use had fallen. Okay, it's always what I call one time period behind. Okay, this is how I derive my answer for this part here. Okay, therefore my answer will be brother told mother he had fallen while running in the park just then. Okay, yeah, very good. Butil's left eyebrow, correct? Add the he. Wow. Okay, very good. Thank you for pointing. Well, wait. He had fallen. Okay, very good. If for the Chinese one, if I write just now, is it wrong? Yes, it is wrong. Because brother told mother, this conversation, the reported speech means that you are the third person here and you listen to their conversation. So when brother said just now, it means that it was then. Okay? Yeah, if you don't put he, it'll be -1 mark. Okay, thank you for pointing out. Okay? So to answer the question, if I write just now, is it wrong? Yes, it's wrong. Okay, now NXT 1121 for question 67. Okay, so how do I go about with this question? In getting the help when she needed it, Julie showed her humility. So for this question, we are looking at how to change in getting help to a new sentence with the same meaning. Okay, so first thing first, when I look at this question that is given to me, I know that it is in the past tense because Julie showed humility, past tense. Therefore, when I transfer it, and you see that my first few words that are given is the fact that Julie. So my verb here needs to be in the past tense as what my question has given me. That's why I put it as the fact that Julie got help when she needed it, showed her humility. Okay, so the only thing you need to take note of is the tense, which will affect how you change the sentence. That's all. Okay. Okay, moving on to question 69. Grace explained the situation. Aunt Lucy ignored it. Aunt Lucy ignored Grace's explanation of the situation. Okay, so this is how you change the sentence. Okay. Lastly, Bob improved steadily in swimming. He earned him praises from his coach. So we are looking at the word form again. So Bob's steady improvement in swimming earned praises from his coach. Okay, so this is also a word form change kind of question. So from improved as a verb, we are looking at improvement as a noun. All right. Okay. With that, that is the end of Ai Tong Primary School paper. Are there any questions? Please feel free to write them in the comment section. All right. Once again, thank you all for joining me today on TikTok. I'm teacher Nathan from Writers at Work. If you would like to learn more about our English enrichment, you can check the link in our bio. In addition, I'll be taking the Sunday afternoon and evening sessions from 3 p.m. onwards. So if you would like to have some practice for your English, you can join me. I'm specializing in primary 6 paper. Okay? Yep, thank you everybody. If you have any questions, you can stay on and we will talk. Okay?